everybody. Today is Monday, November 4th, 2019. It is 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 degrees Celsius. I just got off a R train at Lexington Avenue 59 station, and I'm going to take you on a walk of Lexington Avenue. So this is the first time I'm using the GoPro HERO8 Black. I'm using it with a Shorty attachment, not with a mechanical gimbal. So this is all electronic stabilization. Let's see how this camera performs. So I'm exiting at 60th Street and Lexington Avenue. This is Bloomingdale's. Bloomingdale's is between 3rd Avenue and Lexington Avenue, and between 60th Street and 59th Streets. I am recording this video in 4K 60 frames per second in the wide mode, similar to what I record with on my HERO7 Black. Right now it is golden hour, or magic hour. That's when the sun is in a position which is most beneficial for natural light and photography. See, this is Bloomingdale's. This big department store is owned by Macy's, and it should be completely decorated in time for the holidays. Across the street there's Sephora and Zara, and also Innisfree. Sounds like something's wrong with Bloomingdale's speaker today. No, thank you.
Well, thank you.
All right. I would stop, but I'm here to make a video. I have places I need to be.
All right there, young lady. Let's not run by again. All right there, 007. I know that's you. Go ahead with your bad stuff on.
007.
I'm making it sure that it will come here.
Here's 59th Street, Banana Republic, and the Gap. Well, you get all kinds of characters in New York. Right there we have the next American Idol, or America's Got Talent. This is the headquarters of Bloomberg, the financial media organization. They're most famous for the Bloomberg terminals, where you can get all your financial information and news at lightning speeds. Whoa! Okay. A little bit reckless, but at least nobody got hurt. I know I always talk about traffic in New York, but seriously, one bad move and that's it. You won't be able to walk around anymore. I always tell people you have to take it seriously. Many people just cross the street looking down at their phone or not looking both ways, and that's just not a good thing to do.
That still has to be something that...
Also, if you're driving recklessly like that, don't.
In that way. And
This is the headquarters of, well, not the headquarters. I know it's a big office building for WeWork. I know they're running into difficulties right now. Their business model isn't really sustainable. But there's a lot of office space around here. Many people are getting off work at this time. This is 57th Street. That right there, 432 Park Avenue, is the tallest residential building in New York City. I believe it's also the tallest building in the world, known only by its street address. The other names of the buildings are all like nicknames, like the World Trade Center or the Empire State Building, but that one just has a street address as its designation. Here's a hotel called the Fitzpatrick. I don't really know too much about it, but it looks very fancy. Those of you coming in for the holidays can take a look at this hotel. You can also stay next to some nice New York City scaffolding. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that scaffolding is the most common architectural design in New York City. That's a big crane they have there. I think maybe they're doing some brickwork renovations. Yesterday, most of the people in the United States had to turn their clocks back 1 hour. That's due to the daylight savings time. Many people have mixed feelings about whether or not it should stay. And this debate happens every time, twice a year. If you think about it, who are we to decide what the time is? The time is what it is. This building is a central synagogue. Don't really know too much about it, but it's very impressive. Here's Organic Avenue, although it looks like it's closed for good. Now I'm approaching one of my most interesting buildings. I should say one of my favorite buildings in New York because of its history. This building up here is the Citicorp Tower, famous because of its slanted top and also because it almost rained destruction on the Manhattan skyline because there was an architectural flaw in its design. If the winds blew hard enough, it would topple over. But you can learn more about that on my walk of 53rd Street. Thankfully, the major structural flaws of the building have been corrected, and this building still stands today on its stilts. Here's a subway entrance for the E, M, and 6 trains. It's really amazing how quickly it's becoming dark now. Here's 52nd Street. Wait. Wait, I say we can go now.
Alright, have fun. Wrong vacation.
I just overheard someone, they're going to New Orleans and Dallas. Not a bad idea for people to do at this time, because some people, they don't like the cold weather. I feel like many New Yorkers share the same feeling. When it gets really cold, they complain about the snow and the wind, and then they go take a vacation somewhere where it's warm. There's another hotel, the DoubleTree. I believe it's owned by Hilton. Yeah, it does say DoubleTree by Hilton. So here's another option you could stay at if you want to stay in Midtown.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Here's the National Bar and Dining Rooms. This is the Benjamin Hotel. Oh wait, maybe it's not a hotel, it just says Benjamin. Never really looked into it before. Oh wait, it is a hotel. I had a feeling it was. You know, I never even knew this was called Hotel Alley. That explains why there's so many hotels over here. Here's the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, currently being renovated. It is going to be converted into many apartments, but I believe it will retain a hotel feature. Here's another hotel, the Maxwell and the Marriott. Very big hotel, the Marriott. So now I learned that Lexington Avenue is called Hotel Alley. In a few minutes, we'll be approaching Grand Central Terminal. A fun fact also about the Waldorf Astoria Hotel that I passed. There's a secret train platform that runs underneath the hotel. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the president at the time, used it in order to travel between Grand Central and the hotel without anyone noticing that he had a disease. I believe he had polio at the time. So he was able to remain hidden from the public view by using that train track. Another hotel, the Lexington Hotel. You know that's how you do. So it's interesting, the main entrance is around the corner, and this side the entrance is for Starbucks. But you can still get to the hotel through Starbucks.
Tenemos.
Roger Smith Hotel. I should look up how many hotels are on Lexington Avenue. What was that woman talking about? I have no idea. You can see the traffic is getting more dense up here because we're entering the heart of Midtown, 42nd Street and Grand Central Terminal. Many of the bus lines also run along 42nd Street. Over to my left is a 99-cent fresh pizza place. You can go check it out. It's pretty crowded in there. Here's a competition to Chipotle in New York City, Dos Toros. It's also a fast food restaurant where you get to pick what you want to put in your bowl or your burrito, taco. Over here between 45th Street and 42nd Street is the main building for Grand Central Terminal. Designed in the Beaux-Arts style. If you'd like to see my video of Grand Central Terminal, you can check that one out. If I remember, I'll put a link in the upper right corner with a card. Here's Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse. Don't really know too much about it, but it looks very famous. Most recently, Peter Luger's, which used to be one of the most famous steakhouses around in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, got wrote up by the New York Times as having a very, very bad taste right now, and they gave it 0 stars out of 5. There's Grand Central Terminal. I do hope the video is not too shaky. Holding it like this makes the camera shake a lot, but hopefully the GoPro's HyperSmooth 2.0 will balance it out a little bit. It's also tricky because it's getting darker now, earlier. Over here is the Grand Central Market. Great place to get fresh merchandise to buy, food and cheeses, spices. They are a little bit more expensive than other places around here, but it does look very fresh, all the ingredients. Now here I have to stop just to show you this building. It's hard to see as I'm walking right under it, but this is the Chrysler building, designed by William Van Allen, and during its construction there was a race between the Empire State Building and the Chrysler building on which building would be the tallest in the world. The designers and architects of the Empire State Building always thought the Chrysler building had an ace up their sleeve in order to claim the tallest building, and that was actually true. They hit a spire during its construction, which they lifted through a hole. But nevertheless, the Empire State Building was able to top it and become the world's largest building, tallest building, for 42 years. And there you can probably see the Chrysler building at a better angle.
I did not. Yours is actually.
Just to see if there's anything urgent.
Here is 41st Street. gourmet cafe every day. Looks like you can get some fast food in there, fast things to eat, as well as some basic groceries. So that's an alternative to the Grand Central Market. You come down here a few blocks and you have some more affordable options for produce. It's getting windy out and many of the trees are starting to lose more of their leaves now. I don't think the fall foliage will last much longer.
I'm so embarrassed.
Coming soon, another pizzeria. Adding another pizzeria to New York City's arsenal. I do wonder how many pizzerias are in New York City. Probably more than what you can eat in a lifetime. I'm sure if you went to a different pizzeria every single day of your life, you wouldn't be done until like 10 years later. The Junction Bar. And here's something that's very unique. We have a NYPD booth here. This is 38th Street. Looks like Hotel Alley is still going. We have another hotel called Athenia Hotel. There's the Empire State Building in the distance. There's 37th Street. It's NYPD blocking this street off. Not really sure what they're doing. Definitely some interesting buildings here. Take a look at this. The Soldier and Marines Airmen's Club. Soldiers, Sailors, Marines, and Airmen's Club. That building definitely fits the name. It's very unique in its architecture. By the way, if you didn't know, I've entered the neighborhood of Murray Hill. There's many different types of buildings here. Lots of brownstones and different types of architecture. More residential than north of 42nd Street and Midtown. There's a building called the Israel Henry Barron Campus. I already see some Christmas lights and holiday lights. Are people really preparing that early? Well, I guess this video will be a good test on whether or not the HyperSmooth 2.0 will work well in low light and darkness.
Why you don't join?
It's so busy over here because all of these streets are pathways and exits to the Queens Midtown Tunnel, linking Midtown to Long Island City, Queens. And especially this street, 34th Street. There's the Empire State Building on the distance, located between 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue. Here's Murray Hill Market. I do know there's a Trader Joe's somewhere around here too. I think it's on 3rd Avenue. That's another option for your groceries and produce. It is getting a little bit windy right now. Weather forecasts are calling for a 30-degree day later in the week and maybe some snow on Friday. So we'll have the first snow of the fall-winter 2019 season. Okay, looks like I can cross now. Here's Yeshiva University.
That's it.
As if like this is an interesting business in front of me. Never heard of this company before. Coco Mat. Their slogan is "Sleep on Nature." Maybe they use natural materials for their bedding. Does look like very good quality items. I think now the city just turned on the lamps, the street lamps. I don't think all of it has adjusted to the change in time yet, but we're getting there. Here's the Hotel New York City. It's just called the hotel. This across the street is a very impressive house of worship. Can't really tell what faith is supposed to represent.
I mean, I don't know if that's valid.
Right now I'm in the neighborhood of Kips Bay. And then south of here at the end of Lexington Avenue is Gramercy Park. Hopefully I'll be able to make it there before the battery dies, but we'll see. Don't really know how long the battery lasts on this new camera. Here's Spice Corner, specializing in Indian and Middle Eastern foods. Really strange and out of the way in Kips Bay, but here there's a spice store. Actually, there's another Indian business across the street, Vintage India NYC, and another spice store. Wow, something I didn't know about. There's a lot of spice stores and Indian stores here in Kips Bay. There's also a lot of garbage set out for collection. I'm surprised, there's even a lot of Indian restaurants here too. And Japar, and there's also Pangrao, if I'm reading that correctly, that red canopy. There's also Handy here, and Chot Nawab. I apologize if I'm pronouncing these names incorrectly. I may have to check some of these restaurants out here. But New York City's official Little India is in Jackson Heights. I guess there's a smaller one here too. Take a look at this one.
His economics class, he's currently getting like a
I don't remember if I turn auto low light on or off on this camera, but the frame rate may drop if the camera detects that there's not enough light to stabilize the image. So we'll see. I wonder what's going on here.
You met him like one time. I know.
There's a place called Cousin's Maine Lobster. It was featured on Shark Tank, MasterChef Today, CNN, and Food Network. I think that's enough publicity for this place. Popeye's Louisiana chicken, that's packed in there. I know the two big fried chicken places in New York City are Chick-fil-A and Popeye's Louisiana chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken used to be a lot bigger around New York City, but not too much anymore. Here's a cute little spot. Oh wow, here's another bubble tea place opening, Yifang Taiwan Fruit Tea on Lexington Avenue and 25th Street. This here is Baruch College, one of the universities of the City University of New York. The tuition here is a lot more affordable than the private colleges, such as NYU and Columbia.
You look so light in that picture.
partly because the tuition is subsidized by the government. Here's the main entrance of Baruch College.
No, that I know. I don't.
I can see why the bubble tea place decided to open there. I do notice that there's a lot of bubble tea places around college campuses. It's very quick for them to go in and stop in to get a drink. Wow, it is really getting dark out now. So here's 22nd Street. No way, this can't be 22nd, this is 23rd.
The professors, they understand you have a life and I'm not going to.
I thought it was 22nd because that building says 121 East 22nd condos, but this is one of the main crosstown routes throughout New York City.
That's a pretty building over there.
Oh, he was mentioning about that building. That building is a Metropolitan Life Insurance building. There's also the tower, which is owned by Metropolitan Life as well. Okay, this is 22nd Street now, and the next block is 21st Street, as well as the end of Lexington Avenue. It ends at Gramercy Park. This is a privately owned park by the residents of Gramercy Park, the neighborhood, and the buildings surrounding it. You need a special key in order to get in, and it's closed to the public on all days except for one, which is Christmas Eve, I believe, or Christmas Day. One of those where they actually sing Christmas carols inside the park. Now, I've never been inside this park before. I know the property owners have a strict policy of no photography inside and video. There was a story one time I remember reading. One person rented an Airbnb and used the Gramercy Park key in order to enter the park. Started taking pictures and video of it, and they had a big issue about it. But they're not going to have an issue with me right now because I'm on the public sidewalk. Not that you can't see any, not that you can see anything anyway, it's so dark. But anyway, that does it for this video of Lexington Avenue from 60th Street all the way down to 21st Street, Gramercy Park. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video down below, and comment also on what was your favorite part. I'll catch you all next time. Take care.